Okay, this is Xpose TV again, and we are here with Mrs. Edwards, a very well-known person, a Jehovah's Witness, and our past or ex-teacher in the village. She is a very notable person in the village because we all know her as an educator. And here we have her today, and we're going to tell you all, we're going to let her tell you all a little bit about herself as a teacher and a Jehovah's Witness. So, Miss Edwards, you have the floor for the people. So, where exactly you came from before you came to Calibishie?
Well, really, I was born in Roseau in the 1930s. Went to school there. That's where my mother and father lived. And after a time, we went to Davis. I took my schooling in Davis under the headship of Mr. DTA, very nice teacher. And I won my student exam in the 1940s, I did. And I was sent to the convent high school. I spent 2 years there. And I was more bent on teaching. I love children. So I studied for teaching, the teaching profession in Roseau.
So at that time they had a what? They had a teacher's college at that time?
Not a teacher's college, really. But most of us who were there were to be teachers. I forgot the names of the people so long. Very forgetful because of time.
Yeah.
But quite a few of us. Some of us are still alive. We have we have Mr. Gregory and Geraldine. Some of them have died. And we all did very well. And each of us started teaching in different schools. I started teaching at the Roseau Girls School with Mrs. Shillingford.
Okay.
I taught with her for a year. And from there I was sent to Deedyn. I was sent to Deedyn to teach. And there I stayed for a very long time.
So from Dalis now you came to Calibishie, you met Mr. Captain, and then you came to Calibishie or what?
Yes, well, from Deedyn I was transferred to
Cassie Bruce.
I started teaching in Castlebruce 1989.
Oh.
I remember that very well. Oh, I love that place very much, and the people, they're very affectionate, and they made me feel at home.
Okay.
And I spent 1 year there, and from there I went to Cochrane.
Cochrane.
I taught in Cochrane School 1960
Wow.
to 63. And while I was in Cochrane, under the Mr. Walker, who was then education officer from Barbados, I was sent to Barbados to do teaching what it was for infant levels.
Okay.
With a lady, Miss Weston, in Barbados. I spent 6 months there training, and I really enjoyed that training because it helped me to get more adjusted to the little kids there, to love them more, care them more, teach them better. And I'm very grateful to Mr. Walker and his staff for sending me there. At that time, Mr. Bruni was the principal at Cochrane.
Okay.
And from Barbados, I was sent back to Davis to teach. That time Mr. Henderson was the principal there.
So who sent you to Barbados? Did you went on your own pocket,
no,
or?
The educational office, I must say.
Okay.
Mr. Walker was the education officer at that time.
Okay. And they chose you?
and I was chosen among the teachers, I must say.
Okay.
I was very fortunate, and I was very much delighted to be one of the chosen ones.
Okay. So from Delicis, which was the next village?
Well, from Delis, I remember I was transferred to Calibishie
Okay.
in 1959.
And from Casibros?
We went to Cochrane.
Okay. And how did you get to Calibishie?
Well, after I got married to Mr. Clement Edwards, captain, I got married to him in 64, June 64.
Oh, 1964 you got married. At those times they used to have the short mini skirts or
Well, whether they had short mini skirts or that, according to my faith, I never wore them. Because we are against short, we have to dress modestly.
So you have been a Jehovah's Witness all that time?
Yes, I've been a witness in the 1940s.
Oh, that's a very long time.
Very long time, yes. So wherever I am, I carry my faith with me.
Yeah, a stalwart.
Yes, stalwart. Because I want people to, if people were to do what the Bible says, the world will be a different place.
Yeah. So tell us about your teaching life in Calibishie.
Well, I enjoyed it too. I'm still, I must say, though I left teaching for so many years, I really enjoyed it because I used to go to teach the infants in Wesley and Maricot, Calibishie and Benz. I was sent to at least help the teachers share the lesson that I learned in Barbados
Okay.
with them, and them to be better infant teachers.
But growing up, I heard that you had a school on the first floor of your upstairs and downstairs house. Is that true, or classes you had there?
No, well, the school in Calibishie was being, they were building a new school in Calibishie. So therefore the school, the place where they were teaching, the old school, couldn't accommodate all the children.
Okay.
So my husband rented downstairs to the government.
Okay.
And I had infants 1 and 2 downstairs. And I was more in charge of them, the children. And some of the children who came to my school, most of them are fathers, mothers, some of them are doctors, they're abroad all about. And whenever they see me, they always remember me, Deedyn.
Yeah.
Because I used to provide for many of them. They ripe bananas, always having ripe bananas, cakes and things to share with them.
So at that time, what they had in school, you had chairs, you had benches, or children used to sit flat on the floor?
No, they had benches and chairs, not nothing like it. Teachers each one had a chair, but it's more benches. And the children is on the blackboard. Sometimes they used to write on the wall. And they had pieces of, they had the exercise books. But the more used to help them to write on bits of papers that I accumulated. And I remember this lady, Mrs. Napier, deceased. She used to bring a lot of magazines and papers that she would read. So I would teach the children from these magazines, the picture reading, and learning new words from those pictures and writing them on the papers.
Okay.
Even deaf children would come to me.
Okay. So what about my mother? Did she taught with you underneath the house? You had?
I think, I don't really remember. I think she taught with me because she was just a young teacher and I really helped her.
Yeah.
To learn how to teach infants and so on. She gained a lot from me. Miss James, Mrs. George, Miss George, a lot of them.
So all those teachers that we know, those old teachers that we know, well-known teachers in the village, they were at once upon a time your apprentice.
I was apprentice, some were fellow teachers.
Okay.
We work together.
So they are all your
team.
proteges, I must say.
We all work together as a team. And I made myself looking above them, you know, we work together. If they had a question to ask, I would try to answer, and that sometimes I would refer to my books. Or if I get a fine article in a magazine that has to do with teaching or how to get along with children and so, I would show it to them and say that that's how. If I see a teacher beats a child badly,
Yes.
I would call her aside, you know, and
So
talk to
you
her.
guide them along the
I
way.
would guide them along
Yeah.
the way, and they're grateful up to now. They're
Yeah.
very, very grateful for that.
So you retired in what year, if you can remember? in the 1990s
No,
or
in the
1980s?
1980s. I
Oh,
think I
that's a long
retired
time.
1989.
1989.
Around that time, I
Okay.
retired. And I retired because my mother had got a stroke, you know,
Yeah.
and I had a girl taking care of her, but whenever I come, she would complain and tell me what the child would do, you know, what the person would do her and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I wasn't happy about it. So my mind was at school, my mind at home. So I wrote to the education office and tell them the position and tell them I would like to get an early retirement and to take care of my mother. And they accepted it. I was so happy. I gave praise to Jehovah for that.
So teaching was your first love and your last love. You enjoy teaching a lot.
I enjoy teaching very, and I'm still teaching. Though I'm almost 80 years.
Yes, you're still going around the
I'm
place with your
still going
magazines.
around and placing the magazine and teaching people. I'm even teaching some people to read.
Yeah.
And some of them are grateful. I'm having Bible studies with them. And I'm still doing
So
my
you're
teaching.
still active.
Still actively teaching. Though I cannot do as much as I would, but I'm still active. And the people are grateful for that.
So what message that you have for young teachers? We have so many young teachers in Dominica right now. What is the message that you have as a very knowledgeable person full of experience?
Well, the young teachers, what I should tell them, they don't know much about teaching. Ask the older teachers. They could come to me anytime. I'm at home, I'm available. I have some of my books that I went to, that I studied before. I have some of them, I still have them. I could refer them to some of the books or even some of the books. Or if they ask me a few questions in advance, I can write it down, and then I'll write down the answers, and I can then read the answers.
Yeah.
I remember a teacher inviting me to her school to talk to the children. I was so happy that day with a bag of sweets, so
Yeah.
that I could give them after I spoke to them. I spoke at my age. I went to the school, sat down, asked the children questions. I wrote on the board. That reminded me of my school days. And up to now, some of the little children ask me, "Teacher, when you come back and talk to us?" So that's very, very, very good.
Okay, well, here we have it. Mrs. Edwards, thank you very much for your time and, you know, telling us a little bit about your life as a teacher.
Man.
This is Xpose TV, More TV, and we are out.